Earnhardt Jr. front of the field.
I think a few of them been sitting on those green hats, but they all came up in the air then.
And you know, I know this is the first race of 2009. Look at them waving. They're standing on their feet all the way down the back straightaway. But Darrell said it in the pre-race. I just think the second year of Dale Earnhardt Jr. with Hendrick Motorsports is a pivotal year. And how about Tony Stewart? He wants to lead at this 500, that 14.
I don't know if he wants that 18 behind him, though, after yesterday in the nationwide race. Kyle pushed Tony all the way through 3 and 4 trying to get around him. Couldn't quite do it.
The Daytona 500.
Yes, I am.
It's a spotter, Bob Jeffries.
Back to the front, left 5.
Travis Kvapil has hit the wall in his Yates Racing Ford.
That's got tar written all over it.
It's got the right front locked up. Right front is locked up. Damage on the right front fender, guys.
Caution's out for the third time today. The Janesville, Wisconsin driver who time trialed his way into the field has brought out the third caution flag.
All right, Dick, let's show you what brought the caution out moments ago.
Travis
High side.
on the high side right there. He comes in, and all of a sudden you'll see the car, just a little bit of a puff of smoke, and you see the car almost drop down a little bit on the right front, right there, and all of a sudden up into the outside safer barrier he goes. Another angle, different place here. You see again, hard lick in that outside safer barrier. But again, you know, that's the beautiful thing about having that safer barrier there. It could have been a lot worse if it hadn't been for those safer barriers.
Amazing he could even drive it after that to at least get it through the track. Each week, voice your opinion on who you think should win the AT&T Fastest and Most Valuable Pit Crew of the Year award from your AT&T phone. Text the car number of the pit crew you think is the fastest and most valuable in each race to 2258. The AT&T Fastest Pit Crew of the Year award delivered by AT&T, the nation's fastest 3G network.
Trouble front straightaway. Joey Logano pounds the safer barrier at the inside of the entrance to pit road. And it's a hard hit for the 18-year-old from Middletown, Connecticut. He had been doing so well from the back. He'd climbed up to 27th position as of a lap ago, but something sent that car out of line and hard into the wall.
I'm going to tell you, that was a hard lick, but Mike, you mentioned it, safer barrier on the inside there coming into the tri-oval.
See what happens here. I got a feeling that
he tried to stay off of Scott Speed in the 82, and he drove down in front of Greg Biffle. But look at that, a hard lick there.
I love it that they finally put the safer barrier there. That used to be a dirt bank several years ago, and boy, it was worse than hitting a wall.
You would know. You hit that thing a ton. Wasn't it 4th of July race?
Yeah, no, it was in the 500 in 83.
And you know, no one did anything wrong there. Scott Speed got loose. Joey Logano tried to stay off of him. Greg Biffle in the 16 was right there.
This is going to hurt. Let's ride along with Joey Logano.
2 wide.
Just a bump. Just a kiss.
But look how well contained he is in that car.
All right, bud. Yeah, I'm fine.
And he is.
There's a young man that will be glad to leave Daytona. He has had a rough 10 days down here.
Youngest driver ever to start the Daytona 500. Will not be 19 years old until May.
Pace car peels off, and we're set to restart the Daytona 500 with 77 laps to go, as Larry pointed out. Now there are some cars on the tail end of the lead lap in front of the race leader, who shows as Elliott Sadler with Reed Sorensen, then Kyle Busch, Matt Kenseth, and Carl Edwards. Sorensen driving the famed number 43 that Richard Petty took to victory lane here 7 times.
And all of those cars are cars that had made green flag stops prior to that caution. Boy, Brian Vickers, Dale Earnhardt Jr., that ain't going to work, boys.
Vickers hard. Here we go. Busch, the dominant car of the day, in the wall.
That was wrong.
And 10 cars sliding, slamming into the infield.
Jimmy Johnson, totally uncalled for. Totally.
I don't care who you are. That was just wrong.
Caution is out. McMurray was a contender. He's all torn up. And the dominant car of the day, that of Kyle Busch, is a victim of this pileup. Let's look first from the DirecTV blimp.
This is the result of a driver that's a little frustrated.
All right, there's Brian Vickers. There's Dale Earnhardt Jr. in the 88 right up there at the front on the inside. Coming off 2 down the back straightaway. Junior gets a good run.
Vickers puts a little block on him. And then you be the judge.
Let's reiterate the rule. You are not allowed to advance your position below the yellow line. If you are forced below the yellow line, you must come back up and blend in.
Vickers puts the block on him, and then Junior just turns right back into the racetrack, right in the left rear, Brian Vickers.
Saw a similar situation like that yesterday in the nationwide race.
And the results are a good 8 to 10 race cars torn up.
Now Vickers makes a legal move coming down to block Dale Jr. But instead of blending in, Jr. caught the back end of Vickers' Toyota. And of all the cars in that crash, you have to feel for Kyle Busch. He had led 88 laps, far more than anyone else today, but his number 18 is junk.
Just all of this uncalled for, mainly with 75 laps to go in this race.
Let's ride with Junior.
To push you. On the bottom, 3 wide. 2 outside. 2 outside there. Go low. Go low. Go low. There you go. Good job.
Jimmy Johnson's view.
Outside, no help. Out, in and out, in and out, in and out. Guys, be ready with our splitter hardware.
With Denny Hamlin.
There's a big pile up back there, Mike.
And finally, here's what Digger saw.
Both of the Gibbs cars were involved, Denny Hamlin as well. And I guess, Darrell, what I would say, putting a block like that on someone with 75 laps to go, I don't know that I agree with that, but then I don't agree with a car just turning off the below the line, just turning in the left rear of another car.
No, that's the thing I didn't like. I mean, yeah, Vickers put a big move on Dale Jr. and that's legal. You can do that, and that's why we have a double yellow line back there. What I think was a misjudgment, if you want to call it that, was when Junior came up and clipped the back of the 83.
Could be a lot of
that could have been avoided.
Could have been a lot of frustration on his part for what's been a bad day.
Tony Stewart back up in the mix behind the 2 Petty cars. Sorensen 43, Allmendinger 44. Krista.
Yeah, Tony's still hanging in, especially after that rough week as his first race as an owner driver. But he has said that when he is at the racetrack, when he arrives Thursday night or Fridays, he is the driver. He is a driver while he's at the track 3 days a week. He doesn't have to be an
Crash
owner.
out of turn 2. Paul Menard hits the wall hard. And that wreck actually started about 10 cars in front of Menard. A black and yellow car, may have been Jeff Burton, got into the wall in 2. And everybody backed up from there. Let's start this going off into turn 1.
We see a car. I think it's
there's
Menard, but I think the car that got in trouble is Burton right here. I think he goes up and almost, yeah, see, he gets into the 78. They make contact. You see parts flying off of the back of Burton's car there.
Oh,
the 31 and
Menard's
Menard
a victim.
Just tried to get by and didn't quite make it.
But you're right, Mike. It all started way back in the middle of turn 1 and 2.
Yeah, Burton just started up the hill, and 78 Regan Smith's there. They make contact, 77-00. But here comes Menard.
Regan Smith came down on Menard just a little bit, trying to dodge Jeff Burton in the 31.
And actually turned Menard to the right. These guys should not, crew chief should not mention that rain might be on the way.
It's a good point.
Yeah.
The free pass on this caution. Dale Earnhardt Jr. Boy, Kevin Harvick got aggressive there to gain himself some racing room. And here comes Harv, the winner 2 years ago, up into 3rd place.
The man that started back in 38th position. This is a backup car, but it's a car that's been to victory lane here during Speed Weeks. Won the Budweiser shootout with that very car.
Elliott Sadler is challenged for the lead by Matt Kenseth and Kevin Harvick.
I believe these guys put a big old clock on their dash, and they wind her up, and it's supposed to hit midnight about the end of the race.
Now, if Matt Kenseth can bring them all the way back around and lead a lap. Oh, here we go.
There he goes.
Almirola goes off the nose of Casey Kane.
Hang on to her, brother.
Get brake. Brake there.
Man, it gets crowded back there. Goodness.
Caution's out.
Daryl, I think you were right.
There, Doug.
I think somebody's glass slipper broke. Little damage to the right front corner of Kane's car. All right, first let's go back a lap and show you the contact between Reed Sorensen, 43, and Matt Kenseth, the 2nd and 3rd place cars.
Kenseth changes his mind. He was going to go inside, starts back outside, hits the left front of Reed's car, and the 43 there, Reed Sorensen, and shot him up the hill.
But from the DirecTV blimp, now here is Almirola side by side with the number 2 of Kurt Busch.
He runs up on the back of.
Yeah, what a stack up.
Yeah,
right
I mean,
there.
it's just they're just all wadded up right there. He gets hit from behind by
Sam Hornish.
Sam Hornish, shoots him to the left about the time that the 43 cars come along.
Or the Casey Kane,
the 9 cars come along.
Close quarters. Almirola's way on the outside. There he gets a boot from Hornish.
Yeah.
And across he comes. That was very lucky not to be another 10-car pileup.
Now, Jimmy Johnson, the 48 car, did get the free pass. He's back on the lead lap.
The 8th caution flag of the night. Now, will anybody pit? We'll let you know in a minute.